Hey Sagittarius, this is your April 24 soul story. It's Romy. Thank you so much for joining me on the channel. If you've got a sun, rising or moon in the sign, then you might find that these messages resonate as you move through the weeks ahead. We're going to open up with the Daughter of Swords, the Page of Swords. At times, actions will speak louder than words through April, but at the same time, what you say and how you say it is definitely set to shape your experiences. Now, Mercury is stationing retrograde from the 1st, and so we can often have that lost in translation feeling. And so there's a reminder here that you're going to need to say it, and probably say it again for it to fully land, or for those that you're trying to ensure understand or comprehend where you stand, what your position is, what's important, what matters. And I think there's a huge sense of that theme causing at times frustration, but also helping you yourself to clarify actually how important it is, because the more frustrated you become over trying to have the conversations that seek the progression that you're looking for, the more you're going to start to understand what the blocks are, perhaps what the resistance is within yourself. There's an awful lot of rich information set to come to light because of that. Now, you're going to wish that you'd started something much sooner in April, but what I'm going to say is that because the energy is moving so incredibly quickly in Aries season, it in some ways requires less effort for you to see things unfold at a pace that has you really able to catch up, if you like. So don't be getting too hard or critical, or in a place where you feel like you have to force or push something because you think you're going to miss out or you're going to run out of something. There seems to be this urgency that can create the irritation or agitation around getting something moving. And all is in divine time is what wants to come through and for you to be able to hear. In fact, this month it's sort of the little things that matter, even though this is a incredibly amplified experience in April. The astrological skies are lit up with this solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th of the month. We've also got the Jupiter Uranus conjunction on the 20th. And what you're going to find is that whilst there's a lot of big things happening externally, to not get distracted from what matters and what helps to kind of keep your peace and keep you grounded. Now, our Four of Staffs actually creates a more solid foundation than you may think you have in order to be able to build upon something. And in this fire energy coalescing in Aries with your 5th house, your heart chakra, open wide, it certainly seems to me that you're seeking to get something moving off the ground, progressing in a way that gives you deeper satisfaction, and kind of helps to ignite a sense of passion somewhere in your life that has felt perhaps a little bit lackluster, or had a few false starts. I feel like even since the beginning of the year, that type of a feeling, one step forward, two steps back. Now, retrograde in Aries will actually bring pieces from the past back to help you reevaluate, perhaps make some adjustments and improve upon something, and then you'll be fully ready to give yourself the credit for everything that has happened thus far, and not actually looking back and feeling frustrated in any way in regards to what's happened. I want to say to you, there may be this sense of you making something really personal in April when it doesn't need to be. We can get caught up in unnecessary drama or conflict, both inner and outer conflict, simply because we're taking something the wrong way, or the temperature in the room has risen and everyone's just feeling a little bit out of sorts or disconnected. Now, this is a month where there is revelation after revelation coming through with the eclipses. Often things happen in threes when we're during that season. We've got the Son of Staffs, Knight of Wands here, and there's certainly this feeling of kind of whipping up a storm or something getting stirred up, but at the same time it's sort of igniting the flame and making it stronger and brighter. So again, it seems to me that it helps to clarify for you kind of what matters and what you're prepared to sacrifice, or what you're prepared to stake or put on the line or invest in some capacity. You know, I think your ambition is brought into the spotlight a little bit through the course of this month, and you know, what you're prepared to do in regards to the ambition that you have around certain things is a conversation that you'll be reflecting upon with yourself and others as you seek ways to ensure that you can progress and move forward. He is going round in circles of this candle, so it does make me wonder if there's something you feel you're going round in circles with, or someone. The butterfly, however, does indicate that even though it may feel we're not making progress, actually we are. And sometimes it feels like we have to take a step back in order to take a bigger leap forward. And I think that could also be an experience that plays out a little bit for you through the course of this month. And what we would want for you, Sagittarius, is for you to just consistently assume the best and then deal with situations that arise that are more conflicted when they happen. So let your outlook constantly be one of believing that the best is possible and that the highest possible outcome is what's on its way. Now, this solar eclipse in Aries coming in on the 8th of the month challenges you in a way that I think is a little bit unexpected. It might highlight to you where you have become overly tethered or dependent on something or someone, and that, you know, there's something kind of that's, you know, I suppose a little bit toxic in regards to that, and it might not have been so obvious to you before, but now you're starting to see things in a new light. You are being given very clear indications of how to move through this experience and release the chains or any cords or any dependency on something. And I think that can get incredibly cathartic and healing in its experience, but at the same time challenges you, because it challenges you to accept and acknowledge a truth within yourself about yourself. And there's something incredibly sort of unfiltered about April. I think it's very direct and it just says it how it is. You know, this is a season where you know, in some ways you can read the energy of the room very directly, and that can be helpful but also quite triggering in a way. The things that irritate you are such a curious exploration, I think, to reveal new insights in the month of April. And why you want what you want doesn't necessarily have to be explained or justified, but it does need to be fully understood by you. It's already valid because it's your experience, but I do think that, you know, the understanding is going to be incredibly helpful to challenge its continuing presence in your life. And so there's an interesting sort of dialogue that looks at, you know, what's gone, what's still a part of your experience, and what's on the horizon, and how each of these things affect you, mind, body and soul. And as we come into Taurus energy on the 19th, we're preparing to witness the outpouring of energy from the Jupiter conjunction with Uranus in Taurus. Last happened in 1941. Huge flux energy and out of the blue experiences that can feel quite surprising. Your Nine of Swords along with your Devil just show me that there's a continuing sort of stressor that you are facing and acknowledging and dealing with, and it could feel that it's sort of getting in the way and trying to distract you. That said, I feel like the shift that comes by way of Jupiter and Uranus is going to absolutely fling open a doorway for you, and you'll be able to find the wherewithal to sort of release and break free from either this limited thinking or where some of the fear, you know, seems to be overwhelming you. I think the stressor can also come from a place where we know what we have to do, but sometimes we don't know how to go about doing it. And there's that sense of just like, this can't continue, something cannot continue. But understanding the enormity of taking that on, what I will say is that the fated intervention of what kind of occurs through the month of April may surprise you in terms of how it brings things directly to your door. So it kind of packs a punch. In one sense, it sort of doesn't let you move forward without facing something, and that could be a little bit harder or bittersweet or, you know, more challenging, but at the same time offers up a solution in the same instance that also says, well, you know, if you're prepared to do this, then this is the outcome. And that's the relieving of so much of what has felt like an impossible situation at times, I think, for you to be able to manage or to deal with. Now, this conjunction is also going to be bringing about for you a firm focus around how you perceive what is an opportunity, because sometimes opportunities come dressed as experiences that are less desirable, and yet it's through those less desirable journeys that we take that we become who we're meant to, and, you know, new things are understood by us. And I feel like what initially starts out as something that you may even feel regret over ends up being such a big blessing, and it's kind of activated by this conjunction. So it'll be really interesting to see how it translates for you. What you're showing me here is, in spite of some of the challenge and the flux of energy that's swirling all around you, because it's a very dynamic, movement-filled reading when we look at this, you're actually finding your peace. You're holding your space, you're holding your light, you're holding your intention, and you look at ease. So you're managing to move through this, and in your own way and on your own terms, finding the ability to cope and to manage and to kind of see how this is serving you. And I think that's going to be incredibly helpful. Now, when we're arriving on the 21st, Juno stations direct in Virgo, asteroid goddess, and remember, she went retrograde 12th of January in Virgo since October, and here, you know, she rules like relationships, commitments, legal agreements and frameworks. And so we were poring over details that we were unhappy with, things that we felt bound and bonded to that weren't serving us. And, you know, we became very critical of. And so, you know, it felt frustrating to move through that and wonder how we were going to extricate ourselves, or how we were going to make the changes or improve the situation. Now we start to see light at the end of the tunnel, and we also make peace with where we are and where we've been. You know, no longer fighting or forcing that puts you in a position of more insight and to be able to receive greater wisdom as what you need to do next. And so if you've been up against that in any kind of a situation, whether it be personal relationship, some sort of renewal around an agreement that needed to happen, something legal going on for you, you know, the challenge that has been presented and how you've managed it and the conflict it might have brought up within you, set to start to dissolve now in a way that helps you see the light of day. You know, now we're moving through that thick forest and emerging into the sunlight. So there's definitely a feeling, you know, as you come towards the end of April, in spite of some of the trajectory shifts you're likely to experience from the eclipse and the conjunction, in a firm footing of knowing with greater intention what it's going to take and your preparation of what you're going to do about it. Now, the full moon comes in Scorpio on the 23rd of the month, and, you know, here we have this very interesting I want to say like realization from you on a deeply personal level. So it's not necessarily something that's been shown to you or said to you. It's awareness that you have about yourself. But it very quickly leads into a series of actions that you're going to take to deal with something. And that's before the month is out. So there's a very quick succession of steps and measures that you want to put in to safeguard or to honour or to clear something as a result of that realisation. I also think you're set to see something that's incredibly surprising. That may be behaviour or something that plays out with people that you're connected to or aware of. There's an intensity around the entire month of April. And so, you know, the feelings that are evoked or triggered as a result of what you see, the perceptions that you hold, all of that feeling quite exaggerated and amplified, and also, you know, helping you to address what your own emotional responses are set to be around that time as well. So not necessarily easy to observe, to witness, to hear something, but nonetheless an opportunity for deeper healing for you as well, as you really kind of consider, you know, what relevance does this have for me now? Why is it affecting me? How much time am I going to give myself to kind of sit in the energy of this? And really, as Mercury stations direct on the 25th moving forward, there's a clarity of vision as you've sort of made sense of pieces from the past and made a commitment and a promise to yourself, actually, following the outcome of what is seen and witnessed around that full moon Scorpio. And that's quite life-changing, actually. So you walk into April one person and you certainly are going to leave it feeling that you've been through a lot and that you've changed an awful lot, and that, you know, life has shifted on its axis in some way, not all of which you fully understood or can totally comprehend yet, but you're aware of it, and that's okay, because the narrative is now changing and the pathways are emerging, and your actions will speak much louder than your words moving forward in the next few weeks. So if you're new to the channel, the last 3 cards we look at in our extended reading, Sagittarius, we'll also look at a personal question for you and a relationship card. Please join me. The link is below if you would like to continue this for another 30 minutes or so. We are going to just clarify the main spread and see the direction that we want to take this, and what is set to shape those messages. So we are looking at 7 of Swords and the Chariot. My Sacred Soul Support this month guided meditations are looking at elevating your prosperity consciousness. We're also working with Juno, the asteroid goddess, to see how you can harness her energy more effectively. You'll find that, along with my sacred titles, my book and deck, and ways to work with me, over on my website, romywiser.com. Again, all the links are below. We've got King of Cups showing up here. What about this Devil? 4 of Swords, another 9 of Swords. Okay, definitely got a stressor coming through in April. The intensity of these energies can also affect us just physically. You know, we can feel that with headaches, you know, restlessness with our sleep. So, you know, you might just be encountering that in a very physical way as a result of, you know, sort of ascension symptoms or energetic effects of things. Hierophant, Page of Cups. All the decks are always listed below, Sagittarius. Okay, so we're going to have a look at Life Soul Vision Oracle. This is my own deck if you're new to the channel, so please do take the time to check it out. We've got the Gathering, Throat Energy. We've got the Guide and the Gift coming through. Sacred Soul Union, a Labyrinth of Sweet Surrender, Blossoming Soul Song. Maybe for some of you that devil, the toxicity, the dependency coming through. Remember, we're working with this me versus we with Aries and Libra. And of course that eclipse in Aries is going to be highlighting to what degree are we losing ourselves, what identity constructs are shifting and metamorphosizing. Let's have a look at the oracles for Sagittarius for April. What do we have for you? We've got the energy of friendship coming in, beautiful. And then finally an astrology card. We've got Leo showing up for you, Sagittarius, fellow fire sign. Okay, we'll look into these in the extended. I hope you'll join me. Have a great month of April. Take good care. I hope the insights help. I'll see you again next time.